relate to a person who suffers from brittle bone disease, or lives his life with brittle bone disease, or lives his life with chronic dysplasia. Or I didn't realize that I could understand somebody with autism. And I think that Hollywood is exposing us to a wide variety of disabilities and doing it in a positive way. And there's a lot of knocks on Hollywood these days for the things they do and for the people that exist over there. But I think that this is one way that they're doing something positive. And I know that in the news recently, there has been a lot of negative stuff around some Hollywood producers and some stuff that's going down over there. But, if you want to focus on something positive that they're doing, and I know myself, I focus on positive things. If you want to focus on something positive that's going on, the platform for these shows is it. So.
And like Jamie just said, Hollywood is getting criticisms, but I know, a lot of people, watch these TV shows and movies, and by the way they're portraying people like the Good Doctor, Tyrion Lannister, Bran, which I will get into that in a second. From Game of Thrones, Bran from the Game of Thrones, sorry.
Brandon Stark, yeah.
And I think they're helping, in a way, prove the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, and then
let somebody show you what they can do.
Yep. And now, how I'm going to go, I know we talk about, disabilities, and we're going to be talking about disabilities a lot in these podcasts, but also, life is unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen from day to day. But there could be people that get in accidents that put them, in a wheelchair and physically disabled, like Brandon Stark was in the Game of Thrones. He wasn't born that way. He
fell from a castle.
He fell. So
he fell from a castle.
Your day-to-day life could, change drastically in an instant, and that just helps me. No one's life is perfect, but I am grateful for the life that I do live, and for the insights that I can provide, like having conversations,
and having the courage to do things like this, because it is hard to talk honestly about what you go through as a person with a disability on a daily basis. And it's and you see those feel-good stories about people with challenges, and they usually cover the last 5 or 10 minutes of the news. And but that's not really how it is. And this podcast may or may not be perfect by somebody's standards or whatever. But at least it's an outlet for us to say what is on our minds. And who knows who's really listening? Who knows really who takes the time to spend 45 minutes listening to two average people talk about their life experiences? We're nobody special. We just care about making a positive difference. And that should be a lesson to anybody who wants to make an impact. You don't have to be somebody who's spectacular at anything. like the reason why, there might be a few seconds of dead air where we're not really talking is because we're thinking mindfully about what we're saying. It's like it's not always easy to come up with the right words or to communicate the message exactly how you want to say it. And that's just part of life. Nothing happens perfectly, nothing ever is perfect. But it's how you make the best of it. And I think that it's awesome that, I have one of my best friends here with me to talk honestly about what we go through on a daily basis. Not negatively, not like, oh, poor us or poor me or poor people with disabilities. No, we don't have that perspective. And when we watch a show, like, I think profoundly about like the impact that it's having on social media, because people are winding down their day on Monday nights when The Good Doctor comes on. It's like 10 o'clock and you want to just feel good, right? You want to be entertained and you want to feel good about, oh, this is a nice story about some autistic boy. No, that's not what it's about. It's actually very impactful, because who takes the time to think of a storyline that follows the day-to-day thoughts and life events of a person who's a doctor, who's trying to make it in the world with autism? Like, that's cool. And I'm not sure if any of you feel that way, but as a person with a disability, like, that's cool for me. And like, that provides hope. Okay? If I'm being 100% honest, that provides hope, because it's hard for people with disabilities to get a job. Okay? It is. And I'm a motivational speaker. And that happens because I put myself out there on a daily basis. I try to connect with people. I do the best I can with what I have. But it's hard for people with disabilities to get jobs. It's hard. But I'm not complaining, because life is beautiful. And that's what you should focus on. Not like, oh, I want to feel good when I go to bed. No, we're not just here to brighten up your day. We're here to make an impact.
And like we said, we appreciate. Well, I know Jamie does as well, but I appreciate you people out there viewing this, and one reason, like I said earlier, I'm a good talker. I can't put things on paper. But if Jamie or I could change one person's, maybe a person's having a bad day, and hopefully after viewing one of our podcasts, we change their mindset and maybe be like, oh, my life, I do struggle with a certain situation, challenge, but these two young gentlemen are trying to make a difference, and they're putting a positive spin on their situations. Nothing, like I've said numerous times, and I will continue to say in future podcasts, nothing's perfect. I gotta Jamie's laughing.
No, see, it's real. Like, we're not perfect, so just continue talking, dude. It's fine.
I'm gonna bring out my strengths, and by doing this, I will become a better person, and I'm hoping I will make someone. I hope I can make someone out there viewing this a better person as well.
So, yeah, I mean, the more you practice doing something, the better you get at it. And I was just having a conversation with somebody earlier about, like, if you really want to make an impact or get better at doing something, you practice at it. You put yourself out there. And there's this book by Malcolm Gladwell called 10,000 Hours. And he said that if you practice at something, like a sport or like playing an instrument or practicing a craft, like engaging people or presenting or public speaking or putting yourself out there. Because like I said, it's a scary thing to do. Because you're in front of people, you're talking, and like all eyes are on you. But if you practice like 10,000 hours of doing something, you know, you should be at a level where you say to yourself, oh no, I'm pretty comfortable doing this. And eventually, you know, it'll be that way. And I'm not blaming anyone, or I'm not blaming Dave, but I have a little bit more experience talking in front of a camera or talking in front of people because I decided to do that for a part of my career. But, you know, more power to him for wanting to be a part of this and wanting to make an impact in his own unique way. And I think that, you know, everybody should take a lesson from this, because, you know, if you have a desire to do something positive, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be 100% like squeaky clean with making a perfect video, because you're not going to be perfect the first time. But hey, the camera's rolling, the video is on, and we're talking honestly about our situations. And this time we decided to use Hollywood as the basis for the conversation. And so I think it's fine. So don't worry about, you know, stumbling over your words. Don't worry about making mistakes. You know, you're making an impact by just being who you are and being honest about what we're talking about. So I'm just happy you're here, dude. So don't worry about it.
It's fine. Like Jamie, like he said, he's a public speaker, and, you know, I know he goes and travels to different locations. With my situation, it's a little harder for me to, you know, get out there to travel. So I'm using, this is, like he said, only, you know, my second time doing this. So I'm using the, you know, I guess YouTube / the internet and different social medias as my platform to start out.
And you've also started trying to write stuff down.
Yes, I have. Jamie's read a little bit, and hopefully in the future I will have something more concrete, if you will, that I will eventually reveal. Yep, reveal more on the podcast. But I just appreciate that he's giving me this opportunity as well. And also, Jamie said the main topic that we used to open this conversation was Hollywood. And that just made me remember something that we probably should have said maybe before. But we're going to come up with topics, but like we said in the previous episode, if you want us to talk about a certain subject, please comment and inform us, because we will do the best we can with whatever you have questions.
Yeah, because we want, like, I know from doing my own public speaking, it's like the questions and comments and ideas from the audience opens up other discussions, it opens up other ideas, and it kind of keeps us going. Like,
yeah, and it just helps us see more of in a visual way, for me anyways, that this is reaching out to people, that this is making